Good morning and welcome to this week's Reset for Life moment. You know, I've told this story before in my church, but when I was around 5, I had a habit of stealing. Combine that with my love for Reese's peanut butter cups, and one day I stole some money from my mom's purse. I went down to the convenience store and I bought some peanut butter cups. Now remember that this is not only 45 years ago, but it's also in Manitoba where I grew up for 11 years. It was pretty safe to be walking around on my own at 5 years old. When I came home, my dad noticed me eating the chocolate and he asked me where I got the money for it. He eventually found out that I got it from my mom's purse, and in an effort to break me of my habit of taking what wasn't mine, he devised a plan. You see, kitty corner to us was the local RCMP station, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Back in those days, the head police officer lived in one half of the building, and the jail and the admin offices were in the other half. So my dad took me over to the police officer, who was a friend of his, and together they conspired to put me in a jail cell and then left the room. Again, Manitoba, 45 years ago. After what felt like a couple of hours, but was probably just 20 minutes, I was let out. I was freed. I was liberated. And I can assure you that I was a changed man. My life of crime was over, and I've never stolen again. That's a true story. In our ongoing When God theme to these videos, today I'd like to talk about when God sets us free. Some people have an intense desire to live free. You can watch TV shows like Live Free or Die, Mountain Men, and Alaska, The Last Frontier. They all celebrate that live free lifestyle. The state of New Hampshire has Live Free or Die as its motto. Freedom is important to us. And though we may be free on the outside, many of us are in bondage to something more internally. Maybe you need to be set free from a bad habit. You know, typically as we come to a new year, people make resolutions to either stop doing something or start doing something. They want to stop biting their nails, or stop eating so much chips, or stop leaving the toilet seat up. They want to start exercising more, or start eating right, or start a new hobby. Those are all very good things to do. But what about the things in our lives that are internal and have taken root within us? What about the attitudes and the thoughts that we're in bondage to? What about the feelings of anger and resentment? What about our bad habits that are actually so destructive to both us and those that are around us? What about those things in our lives that no amount of willpower will free us from? It's those things that only Jesus can set us free from. John chapter 8, verse 36, Jesus said this, "He who the Son sets free is free indeed." Jesus is, of course, referring to himself here as the Son of God. And he's saying that if we will let him, he has the power in our lives to bring lasting change in us. He can free us from destructive thinking or harmful attitudes, and he can release us from even our sins. John 8:34, just a few verses back, Jesus says this, "I tell you the truth, everyone who sins is a slave of sin." Now, if you don't think that you're a slave to sin, try stopping doing it. Sin is insidious and it's deadly, and it will make you think that you are really living, but the payment for it is death, and it will eventually kill you. And if not physically kill you, it will definitely spiritually kill you. Here it is, friends. Sin is the one thing in this life that we need to be freed from the most. Sin is our destructive, selfish practices and habits that stand in contradiction to God's holy ways. Sin is our biggest issue. Not our anger, not our pride, not our insecurity, or even our hurt. Those are oftentimes just symptoms of the effects of sin. We all need to be freed from our sin, and Jesus came to this earth to do just that. He does it by revealing to us the truth. Go back a few more verses. John 8:32 says that it's the truth that sets us free. So logically, if the truth sets us free from sin, which is the implication here, then sin must be a lie. It must be opposite to the thing that frees us from it. Truth is liberating, friends. Truth is releasing. And when we know the truth, when we speak the truth and we think the truth, we really have nothing to worry about. I mean, we don't need to remember the lies. We don't need to we don't need to worry about whether things will work out or not. Truth sets us free. And for us, truth comes in the form of a person, Jesus Christ. That's why John 14, verse 6, Jesus said, "I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life." If you go over to John 10:10, Jesus said that he'd come to this earth so that we could have life and life abundantly. Not just life where we're breathing and existing, but abundant life, real life, fulfilling life. Life as it was meant to be lived. Life that isn't found, of course, in a pill or in a bottle or in a drug or in an illicit affair. Life that isn't found in the external things that we do, but life that is found in the internal freedom that we have found through Jesus Christ. That quiet calm that can only come by knowing the truth. Life that is only found in being set free by our Creator. Life that is based on the truth and not on lies. So in your struggle for freedom, in your struggle for truth, in your struggle for an anchor this year because of this past year's turbulence, please understand that only in Jesus and the truth that He brings will you find true freedom. Only He sets us free. The challenge this year is to make Him the priority of our lives, to stop believing the lies that are associated with sin and to start believing in the truth. And then and only then will we truly live free. That's my Reset for Life word for today. God bless.